Wherever you go from here, you have to promise to take care of that little boy for me. Make sure he never forgets where he came from.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse might be an animated movie, and it might be people out there saying, this is the greatest animated movie of all time. It's the best animated movie since Toy Story, or whatever you want to say. Well, it transcends that category of animated movie and goes just into being one of the best movies of the year so far, one of the best movies in recent memory, and honestly, one of the best movies I've ever seen. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is, of course, or Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and it comes from the same team. It's a different directing team here, but same writers and everything like that. As for the cameos and stuff like that, there's plenty of them. I won't say any of them here to spoil anything for people, but there are some excellent ones that will blow your mind, and you'll be super happy for if you're a fan of Spider-Man. So that's all I'll say about the cameos and everything. The music is excellent. The score is excellent. This is just an excellent movie. It's just an excellently crafted, executed film. And so, like I said at the top, it is not just an animated movie. That is a category that it's going to get put in. It's going to be the greatest animated movie of all time. It's going to be the highest grossing animated movie of all time. Probably not. The Super Mario Brothers movie is still crushing it. But it's one of the best animated movies, if not the best. And it's just a really good film in general. So that's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The voice cast is fantastic here. You have Shameik Moore as Miles Morales. You have Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy. You have Oscar Isaac as Miguel O'Hara, the sort of futuristic-y Spider-Man that runs the whole Spider People operation. You have Issa Rae as Jessica, or Spider-Woman. You have plenty of other voice actors. I don't want to say them so it'll, spoil anything in the movie, but the voice cast here is excellent, as always, as the first movie, and you get some great performances. Oscar Isaac here is exceptional in his role as Miguel. He's heroic, but there's something slightly off about what he's saying. And then, of course, Shameik Moore as Miles Morales is fantastic. Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy. She gets a lot more to work with in this film as well. It's still very much Miles' story, Miles' movie, but the whole narrative here is the story of Gwen and Miles together, and why they come together and why they come apart and why everything happens for a reason with Spider-Man. We've got a lot of continuity going from the first movie into the second movie, and it tells the story of Miles Morales. He's older, he's stronger, he's a little bit wiser, not too much. And Gwen Stacy, who is also older, a bit wiser, and a bit more emotionally damaged from what she had to do at the end of Into the Spider-Verse, which was leave Miles Morales alone, basically. She finds a way to get back to Miles' universe, and Miles has to deal with his family issues, colleges, high school life, stuff like that Peter Parker in other Spider-Man movies deals with. Miles is dealing with as well here. The only gripe that I can think of with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is that the Spider People, the Spider Things, everything, there's hundreds of them in this movie, and they happen so fast, and so many are on screen at all times that they have to give some of them name tags, and they have to give some of them title cards that show off who it is, so that you know who it is, because there's so many of them. And so watching it on a first viewing, you're going to miss a lot of them out from the crowd. There's tons of them. You can look at screenshots from the trailer and everything. And then there's even more in the movie. So the trailer doesn't really give away a whole lot when it comes to cameos and stuff like that from other Spider People. But that's the only gripe that I can think of, really, with this movie, is that there's just too many Spider People on screen at once, and it's jarring for your eyes. Story is pretty, there's a lot to it. It goes through, when you think you're at a certain point in the plot structure, the 3-act structure that we're going through here, especially for a sequel like this, it actually goes on a bit longer than you think. It's a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. It doesn't feel like it's that long, though, which is nice about it. And it is the longest animated movie ever. When the third movie comes around, because there will be a third movie, this is the second in a trilogy. Might be even longer than this, but this one feels about right on the runtime scale and everything that they jam in here. We all know the Spider-Man mythos, the Spider-Man story. They get bit by a radioactive spider. They have to have some death and some grief in their life. They have to have some more death and some more grief in their life. And then even after that, you have to have some more death and some more grief. And then you have some happiness, and then you have some death and grief. There isn't a comic book character that's seen more just punches to the face, punches to the gut like Spider-Man has. So you have all of these different spider people that have to go through the same things. And the movie shows you that and goes, here it is, here's what the Spider-Man stuff is, but let's deconstruct it. Let's go through it and let's really analyze it on screen and compare it to the examples of specific spider people. And that's the whole crux of this film, is what does it mean to be Spider-Man? It's fantastic. It's an excellent way to sort of convey to the audience what it is to be Spider-Man. The animation in Across the Spider-Verse is perfection. There's like so many different things, so many different cells, so many different frames, so many different parts of frames, so many pixels that you could just look at and gawk and stare and go, oh my God, this is absolutely beautiful. And for those people out there that like making movie images, their backgrounds on their phones or the background on their computer, you're going to have plenty of options to choose from here, because there are some breathtaking imagery, breathtaking vistas and everything in this film that goes through just excellent quality animation. And it's awesome how the animation changes in each of the different spider realms that they go to. So you have the Spider-Man India realm, where the animation is a little different. You go to Miles' realm and it's more three-dimensional. You go to Gwen's realm and it's more like a matte painting. And you go everywhere. There's a Lego area, and there's tons of different spider realms that have their different spider people, spider things, whatever you might get from it, that all have distinct art styles. The action scenes are fantastic. The first 20 minutes before the pre-credits or before the credits or whatever you want to call it are just pure bliss. You're watching it and you're going, when something's going to have to pop up here, and it keeps going and going and going until you do finally get to the title card for the film. And it's just one of the best pre-credit sequences that gets you right back into the action, right back into what this movie is all about, and also just sort of letting people know from the future, or letting people know about what the characters have been up to, and then also a recap, but you don't know it's a recap and it doesn't feel like a recap. It's just excellently done, excellently executed, and Across the Spider-Verse is just amazing. So through it all, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is an excellent movie. It is an excellent story. It's almost Empire Strikes Back-like with the way that it tells this story and the way that we get this story. So you can go see it in theaters this Friday, June 2nd. It comes out in theaters then, and you will not regret it, because it is one of the finest examples of animation, the finest examples of film that we've ever had. If I'm going to give it a score, I'll give it a 98 out of 100, and it's just almost perfection. And it's so good, it's so emotional, it's so everything. Anything that you can think of that would make a movie good goes into this movie, and that's just how this movie rolls. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is amazing. If you like more movie reviews like this, make sure to check out this playlist, because it has all my movie reviews on it.